Tomorrow, another scorching hot day with lots of sunshine and a high of 96. Full details and the track of the storm coming your way in a few minutes right here. Katya?
All right, Dale, thank you. Listen, if you have been to Port Aransas beaches this week, you may have seen hundreds of dead fish wash up. Not necessarily pleasant when you're out enjoying the beach or fishing. And Chris 6 News reporter Ashley Portillo spoke to researchers at the University of Texas Marine Science Institute in Port Aransas about what may be causing this fish kill.
Dead fish like this have been washing up in Port Aransas, in Aransas Bay, and just north in Matagorda Bay. But after researchers collected several samples in those areas, there's no evidence that red tide is in the water.
So what I can tell you is that it's not red tide.
Researchers like Dina Erdner have been busy answering phone calls and questions about the fish kill. She says fish kills aren't uncommon around this time of year because that's when red tide blooms typically occur. What is uncommon is that this particular fish kill involves one species.
And the fact that it seems to be restricted to menhaden is another one of those things that has folks scratching their head about, what's actually causing it.
Erdner works at the University of Texas Marine Science Institute in Port Aransas, and she found that there are low oxygen levels in the water. There's also a lot of algae, but nothing she says is toxic.
But there does appear to be a lot of algal cells out there. If those cells grow up and then they die, that can also contribute to those low oxygen levels.
Erdner says another contributing factor is that the Gulf waters have been warm and calm recently.
And those conditions can also contribute to those low oxygen levels because you don't get the wind moving the water around and mixing the oxygen in.
And yes, while this may be an unpleasant sight, researchers do tell me that those waters are still safe for people and their pets. Reporting in Corpus Christi, I'm Ashley Portillo, Chris 6 News.
Meanwhile, Nueces County health officials are reporting 3 more COVID-19 related deaths today. That's raising the county's death toll from the virus to 303. The victims were 1 man and 2 women in their 60s and 80s. Now, the county is also reporting 106 new cases today. That's raising the number of total confirmed cases to nearly 18,000. And we're also monitoring the cases in surrounding coastal Bend counties. For a detailed look at those numbers, all you have to do is check out our website, christv.com. And new guidance from the president from the Trump administration could allow teachers exposed to COVID-19 back into the classroom. The guidance would designate teachers as critical workers, and that could exempt them from quarantine requirements. The National Education Association and the American Federation of Teachers both say the designation disregards advice and guidance from the public health experts and would force educators into unsafe schools. And don't forget to check our website on a regular basis. Our social media staff is busy bringing you all the very latest information about the pandemic as quickly as possible. Also, don't forget you can get breaking news alerts straight to your smartphone. All you have to do is download the Chris 6 News app, which is free.
Well, a wild scene this evening at the McDonald's restaurant on Staples at SPID. Police say a former employee showed up with a gun and fired several shots into the restaurant. Now, luckily, no one was hurt. Several televisions were damaged. The suspect also broke out a window in a car. The police managed to track him down a few blocks away and then took him into custody. Well, 4 Corpus Christi men face federal charges in connection with a multi-million-dollar gambling business. Nathan Nichols, Richard Nunez, Richard Conlon, and Douglas Wells were all arraigned in federal court this morning on charges that they were laundering money and running an illegal gambling operation. Authorities say they seized millions of dollars during the investigation, along with bars of gold and several vehicles, including a Lamborghini. All 4 men face up to 20 years in prison if they're found guilty on those charges. Police are on the lookout now for some thieves who damaged a baseball field on Greenwood Drive. Now, they damaged a light pole there out the field and the center field scoreboard, and they were looking for copper to steal. The Westside Little League had plans to resume its games, but the vandalism has now jeopardized those plans.
So we started again the baseball season. Somebody came and just vandalized our lights. Now we're not able to play at night because of this pole right here. It's like 75 feet tall. They do play later. You know, the games usually start either 6 o'clock or 6:30, and it could run all the way to 9 or 9:30. And if we don't have lights, game has to be canceled.
Now, a two-day tournament is scheduled for this Saturday to try and raise the money that's needed for repairs to the ball field. Well, demolition crews tearing down the old movie theater in downtown Alice. The city says that crumbling building had become a danger to the public. As our Seth Kovar reports, there are mixed emotions about the theater's demise.
It's hard to believe this.